Hey guys, welcome back. In the last lecture, we removed the deleted records from the DOM using Ajax template rendering. Now, in this lecture, we will do some work with jQuery to update the delete button text based on how many items or record or checkboxes user had selected to delete from the database. This will give much better user experience because before clicking the delete button, user has idea about how many records he is going to delete. For example, here you can see right now what we have, that if you refresh the page, and you can see that if I select a checkbox, what I am showing that delete books. Okay, if I select another checkbox, the same text is displaying here, but that would be much better if I selected two checkbox. Then I can display like delete two books, delete three books, delete four books, delete eight books, delete one book, and so on. Okay, so that will be much better from the point of view of user experience. Okay, so now refresh the page again and hide this button, and let's implement that counter text on the delete button. Okay, so open the application.js. So switch to the Sublime directory or any text editor where you open that project. Okay, and in the application.js you can see that we write this snippet using jQuery to delete or hide, to hide or show the delete book button. Okay, here you can see that if the counter is greater than 1, then we are showing the delete books button, and if the counter is less or equal than 0, then we are hiding this button. Okay, and now we need to use the text method provided by jQuery to update the text of this delete book button. Okay, so first, before show, let's update the text button here. Okay, and how we can do that? So first we need to find this element, so just use this element here, and here we can do dot text. Okay, text is the method that jQuery provided to update the text or get the text of an element. Okay, it could be anything, like it could be paragraph, it could be an input field, it could be a button, or it could be select, anything this can be. Okay, you just need to get the element using its selector, whether it's a class or id, and then you can call this text method. Okay, since we are updating the text of the delete button, so we can get this using its id. Okay, and now we need to update some text here, so what we can use, delete. Okay, and then interpolate the counter value here. Okay, and this interpolation is some basically like how we do the string interpolation in the ruby. We use double quoted string in the ruby to interpolate the string, and then we use it using hash symbol, and same thing we need to do using the dollar symbol in the jQuery or javascript. Okay, so what we can do here, counter, and then books. Okay, and just to do the same thing within the else block itself, so add a semicolon here, and after you decrementing the counter, just add this here, and now refresh the page. Go to the browser and refresh the page, and you can see that we can display some updated text on the delete book button. Okay, so when you select one, you can see that delete one books. If you select it, then delete two books. Okay, but there's something wrong. Okay, for example, here you can see that right now you have more than one book selected, or you have more than one checkbox selected, so you are getting the correct text, like delete two books, and if you select one more, then it will show delete three books. Okay, but what if you have only one book selected, then it is showing delete one books. That is technically fine, our code is working, but from the point of view of user's perspective, user experience, this is not fine. Why? Because if we have selected only one book, then we just need to show that delete one book, not delete one books. Okay, that means we need to handle the singular and plural selection here by the user. Okay, but how we will do that? Because we can do something by using some by checking the value of counter. If counter's value is for example, let's say counter value is greater than 1, then we can use books. If counter value is less than 1, then we can use equal to 1, then we can use singular value here of the string here. Okay, so you can write some if else as well, but I would like to show you that how we can do this using some function. Okay, so we will create a javascript function to get the plural or singular string here. Okay, so just come to the bottom of the file, and here we need to create a function. Okay, and how we can create the function? So we can simply define const and then pluralize, and here, sorry, we will use the ES6 syntax of the writing function. Okay, and in this pluralized function we need to pass two arguments. That first argument will be the counter. Okay, and then we need to pass the string as well, string. Okay, and once the string has been passed, now it's time to implement this method body. And what we can do in this function, so if counter, sorry, if counter is greater than 1, then simply we can return counter and then string plus s. Okay, or make it, we can make it plural. Okay, so return, and then just use the string interpolation here, so dollar counter, and then dollar string plus s. Okay, else what we can do, else means the number is counter is not greater than 1. Okay, then we can simply provide else, we can just paste it, and here we can remove this. Okay, so and now what we can do, we can just invoke this pluralize method at here. So here you can see that we have delete counter book, so we can just call this function as dollar pluralize, and we can pass counter and the string, that is book here. Okay, and you can do the same thing in the else part as well, where we are decrementing the counter value. So paste this. Okay, and now if you save the file and go to the browser and refresh your page, okay, and start selecting the checkboxes again, so you can see that if you selected one checkbox, it is showing you delete one book. If you have more than one checkbox selected, it is showing you delete two books, delete three books, delete four books, delete five books, and so on, based upon how many books you have selected in your sorry, how many checkbox you have selected on your page. Okay, and if you decrement it, it is showing delete four books, three books, two books, one book. Okay, that means our method to, oh, sorry, the function to display the counter text on the delete book button is working fine. Okay, and you can use the same approach with any of your need where you want to pluralize your function, all that. Okay, so you can follow the same way. And now one more thing, that I am going to delete this commented line, because my function is working well without this line as well, with the show and hide method. So I'm just removing this, and now you can see that what we have in this code. So if counter is getting incremented and it is greater than 1, then we will show delete one book, and if counter is decremented by 1, then we are also updating the text of the button. Okay, and here is the function that we invoked. Okay, and that's it, and that's all from this lecture. Try this lecture at your end, and we will meet into another lecture, and there we will add another feature using jQuery. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care, and stay safe.